Hello, this is Mr. Zanaletto again. We're going to go ahead and finish up this worksheet topic 25 on angle arc relationships. As always, we start off with looking at where the vertex is. The vertex here is on the circle. That means we double the angle equals the arc. And that would be equal to that. Now, before we can get started, we don't have that arc measure. We were looking for this. We're going to be able to jump right to that in a second when we say 2 times the question mark equals the arc, but we don't know what the arc is. But if you look a little closer, what they did give us was this arc, and that has starting and ending at a semicircle, which means that equals 180. So what we're looking for here is 112 plus, let's call it y, equals 180. So y is going to equal 68. So if this is 68, now I can go ahead and resume and say double that angle equals 68 degrees. Divide both sides by 2. Question mark equals 34 degrees. But again, you have to realize that that L adds up to 180. The next part, this vertex is outside the circle. At some point, I know I'm going to be using, and I think right immediately I want to be using the double the angle. Outside, we subtract the arcs. Arc minus arc. We have that arc, and we're looking for this other arc. Is the question mark. And we don't know what that chord is. It doesn't have any special verbs, so that we do have to use this equation. Double the angle, 2 times 40 equals arc minus arc, 128 minus question mark, that's 80, equals 128 minus question mark. I would say 80 plus question mark equals 128, and then subtract, and you get the question mark equals 48 degrees. The next one, number 6. Vertex is on the circle. That means that we need this angle measure and this arc measure. We don't have it, but we do know that that green plus this blue will add up to 360. So 230 plus x equals 360. That means that x must equal 130. That makes this 130 over here. These two added up to 360, and sure enough they do. Now we can go ahead and we have an intercepted arc. 2 times the angle measure equals the arc. So I go ahead and plug that in, and I get 2 times question mark equals 130. So question mark must be 65. From there, we're going to go ahead and do number 8. Number 8. Again, vertex is on the circle. 2 times the angle measure equals the arc. The arc was given to us to be, well, the angle is given to us to be 2 times 5x plus 10 That's going to equal 90. Be careful. If you want to distribute this 2 across, you can get 10x plus 20 and solve. Or you can just go ahead and divide both sides by 2, which I'm going to do. Divide both sides by 2, you get 5x plus 10 equals 45. Subtract 10 from both sides, 5x equals 35. So x is going to be 7. So at this point, number 10, vertex outside the circle. Vertex outside the circle, that means 2 times the angle measure equals the difference of the arcs, arc minus arc. And they gave us the arcs really nicely. So all we do is have a little more algebra to do. 2 times 2x plus 18. That's the angle measure. And the 2 arcs, 150 minus 70. So 2 times 2x plus 18 equals 80. Now, I would divide both sides by 2 just like I did up here above. Take care of that instead of distributing. Why not go ahead and just say 2x plus 18 equals 40. Subtract 18 from both sides. 2x equals 22. And x equals 11. I had done this problem earlier and I went ahead and distributed, but I think the pattern that I'd gotten into, I like not distributing right away. So there is the front page of that. Let's go ahead and skip over to the back page. Back page number 12. We're going to start on over here. Let's see here. They first ask you for EF. So for here, they're asking me what this is. I have an inscribed angle of 55, so I'm going to use that 2 times the angle measure equals the arc. So on this problem, 2 times 55 equals the measure of EF. That's 110. Now, measure of angle E, I don't know that, but measure of angle F I know a lot about. Because why? And why did I say that? Because if I look at E, I don't know what this arc is yet. But if I look at, so far I associated this angle to that arc. They wanted me to find angle E next. I don't have enough information about that inscribed arc. Or that arc, that inscribed angle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and skip over that part of it. I'm going to look at this. So I have my measure of my angle F and 96. I can use this same relationship. So I'm going to go ahead and use 2 times x equals 96, x equals 48. So this is 48 degrees. Now, if that's 48 degrees, and remember this was 110, DF is going to be 96 plus 110 plus I call it y equals 360. Those all have to add up to 360. So this is 206. So y equals 154. And that was trying to find df. So that's 154. So if this is 154, now I can go ahead and go back to my double angle equals arc being 154. So let's go ahead and say this angle 2 times z equals 154. So z must equal 77 when I divide both those by 2. And that's number 12. Next one. We have A, B, C, and D we're trying to solve for. I think D jumped out at me as being the easier of them, and that will help me find some other material too to work with. So when I look at D, again, it's an inscribed angle. It looks like I have 3 inscribed angles I'm going to be looking for. 3 out of the 4 things I'm looking for are inscribed angles, and those always have that angle equals double the angle equals the arc. So in this case, well, first off, this is a central angle because of that dot that tells me that's the central angle. That's going to make this central angle equal to the arc measure. So I can say 2 times D equals 108. Divide by 2, D equals 54. I also know that I had this B, that inscribed angle, is intercepting that arc. So now I can go ahead and use 2B equals 156. So B equals 78. Now C, to find C, what I want to do is I want to take that and that, the yellow and the green, plus what I'm looking for, C, is going to be related to 300. The relationship is going to be they add up to 360. So I'm going to go ahead and take 156 plus 108 plus C equals 360, because they make a full circle. That's 264 plus C equals 360. Subtract 264 from both sides, C equals 96. Once you know that, you can go ahead and find A. 2 times A equals 96. You go ahead and divide both of those by 2 and you get 48. That's all of number 14. One more problem. We'll go ahead and solve here. For this, I can't quite get it to do what I want it to do. Let me see here. Okay, so the next part, number 16. The key to this is actually a really simple problem, I recall. If this is 240 and this is 60, these two arcs. This arc, 240. This arc, 60. Make up 300 degrees. That would give us this last one, last arc that's left to make up the full circle, has to also be 60 degrees. Now if that's 60 degrees, and this is 60 degrees because the whole thing equals 360, that makes these two chords also equal to each other, which makes x equal to 3. I'm done. So I do, if I was going to show work, if I sort of walk away thinking I didn't show enough work, 240 plus 60 plus that missing arc equaled 360. That made 300 plus x equal 360. That made x equal to 60. That's how I got this one. Once I got that 60, now I know these two are congruent. That makes the chords congruent. That makes x equal to 3. Hope that helps you working through that topic 25. There are also extras, exercises that are also posted. If you're having any difficulties with this, have a good week. Hope all is well. Be safe, and we will talk to you next time. Thank you.